How are you?
Good.
That's good. So before we begin the session, I wanted to explain to you the interpersonal model, which basically means that relationships cause feelings, and when you're in a positive supportive relationship, you tend to develop positive supportive feelings, very positive feelings. But when you're in a negative, unsupporting relationship, you tend to develop negative feelings. So I want you to I want you to know that the relationship we have in the session is also considered a relationship, and in the process, and one of the key aspects of this therapy is that you can understand how you form relationships through the way we interact, and be able to understand how you communicate your needs and concerns. And so, what would you like? What brings you here today? What relationship would you like to improve?
Well, one relationship I have, I have 3 children, and my older is 9. So my relationship with her is changing. She's growing. She's actually she's premature for her age, but there's some conflict going on in terms of the things that simple things like morning is usually a problem with her. Getting up, getting ready. So we have differences there.
Tell me more about these examples of when you have some conflict. So in regards to the morning, is it getting ready for school?
Like she doesn't want to eat breakfast, and I think that's absurd. She needs to eat before she goes to school, and that's not an option to get to school and eat breakfast. They don't have the option at school. So that is one thing that I would like to. Of course, she'll end up eating at least a bowl of cereal, but it's a lot of fighting to get to that point.
All right. How do you feel when she argues about eating breakfast and she says no, that she doesn't want to? How do you feel about that?
Well, the thing is, I know she needs food in her body to function. She's going to school too long. So I bring all this up. I tell her that you need food, your brain is not going to work accordingly, all this novel every morning. And it's still, it doesn't work, and of course I feel frustrated, but I end up making her eat, and that's it, the day is messed up for us.
Yeah. So, can you tell me more examples of when you guys have arguments, like some conflicts? Is it
other than this and things that are very simple, like she procrastinates a whole lot. Like she's very smart, but when she comes from school, she will take 4 hours to do 1 page of homework. I have to be on top of her. I really wanted to give her room to do whatever she wants. I mean, do your homework and then you get on with your life. You don't have to worry about this anymore. At dinner time, it's over. But end up not happening that way. And I have to sit down with her and then get this homework done. But it's still, she's all over the place.
It sounds very frustrating. It must be very tough because you also work.
Yes, I work and you know, all my daily activities.
Yeah, so it must be pretty frustrating. So I noticed that when you talked about it, you kind of smiled a lot and shrugged your shoulders.
She's my child. Yeah, she's my child, and of course I was 9 once, and I understand what she's going through right now.
So I noticed that so when you shrug and you laugh, so I feel like that it kind of reminds me when you were young.
Yeah, she's my daughter. I don't have a very similar personality.
So then I see that you guys tend to take a more parenting approach when you get her to eat or do her homework. You tell her, you have to eat, it's good for you, you should, or when it comes to school that it's better to get it done now. Do you think that possibly when you're young, did that help you?
That's something that I didn't have. I never procrastinate. When I was young, nobody would tell me to do these things. In school, I was on my own. I had no one to support me. Get to the point that I had to get myself into school. At middle school, there was no one to sign me up. So I had to do it myself. And from that point, I've done everything. I would get home and I was eager to finish my homework. Not because I want to get it done, because I loved, that environment. I think because I never had anybody pushing me. So it was just me. It was an intrinsic thing for me.
So school was something you enjoyed back then?
Yes.
So, do you think maybe you could talk to your daughter and try to get her to see it from that perspective? Try to, maybe talk to her instead of saying more of, you need to do this, you should do that. do more of the I statements and explain, like, when I was young, I used to do this when I was young, and like kind of get her, in a way, by doing so, get her to change perspectives instead of just seeing it from her point of view. She could see from your point of view about why school is enjoyable, or why she should do this or that.
Okay.
And then also in the process, maybe I guess summarize, because it seems like usually when kids and parents argue, sometimes because they're so caught up in an argument, they forget to hear what the other person's saying. So I guess you could also summarize each other. You say you want to do this, I understand this and that, and then go on to say, but I feel that, and she could try and do the same with you, so you know that she's also hearing it.
Okay.
So I think that's a good approach. Because it seems like you guys do have a good relationship.
Yes, we do.
And you guys seem like, you understand her well. You have the perspective. You know how she was when she was young. Like, you see it. So then, when's a good time that you guys could talk?
Well, we're gonna have a good time together. I will not be working on a holiday.
Oh, that's
Sometimes I work for the weekend, so it's kind of. But I'm not gonna be working this coming holiday, so we're gonna spend the whole day together.
Oh, that sounds
and I think
nice.
that would be a good time to talk about this. Yes.
Yeah. So then, how do you think you should transition to it? So she doesn't seem like she's being, might be feeling like she was lectured or something.
Actually, I think that happens in the morning. She feels like she's being lectured. I think being with her all day and then bring that up, I think that would be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be good. So I guess you can now let's start, let's give kind of like a homework, not a new technique. Like when she gets in the morning, maybe try a different approach. Make it a little bit more of like something fun, I guess, to eat breakfast.
Okay.
Rather than seeing like a lecture, because I guess kids tend to think, they're constantly being lectured. When they're constantly told what to do, they feel like they're going to do the opposite.
Okay.
So maybe, since you knew how it was to be a kid, maybe you could somehow try and work around.
I'm trying to get her to be more responsible. I have 3. So her brother is 3 on the table doing what I said. Her sister is 7, same thing. I don't have a problem with those 2. And then when get to her, it's like always the same problem. With the other 2, it's just the way it's supposed to be. Just like that. No trouble at all. So I want her to be more of a role model to them, because I'm thinking that soon they're going to start doing the same thing. You're going to be in trouble.
I understand. That would be really frustrating when that's happening. Has she always been like this though, or is this when she started getting older she felt a little bit more?
This thing about not eating breakfast and not being so crazy about eating all the time, that's me. I'm like that.
Okay.
I don't eat a lot, but she doesn't know that. That's the thing. She doesn't know that. My good habits pretty much high. So I don't. It's me. It's just the way I am. I'm not a crazy eater. So she gets that from me. I understand.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing, because I understand what she's going through. And I don't want to deal with breakfast, but also later I'll be hungry, and she does the same. She's like, oh my gosh, right before lunch my stomach was wrong. We didn't eat enough in the morning, and she can eat as much as she wants in the morning. Some mornings when I have a little bit of time, because I come from work, I don't get up to make breakfast. So when I come from work, it needs to be everything to get everybody out of the house on time. So when I have a little bit of time, if the traffic is nice and I get home fast enough, so I actually get a good breakfast on the table, and she'll wait. But some days not even the good breakfast she'll wait. So I usually ask her what she wants.
So I noticed that you two are quite similar. How you say that you both don't
habits, yeah.
Yes, the habit wise. So I noticed that I guess that's why you laughed about it earlier. So then maybe I've noticed, since you guys are so similar, maybe that is why you find it conflicting. Because maybe you think yourself you should eat more.
Yeah.
So
I should do a better job with that too. Yeah, I actually I'm doing in front of them. I do.
Okay.
I even sit down and eat cereal if that is the case. Just show her I do that. Oh yeah.
Does it?
I don't have patience to eat cereal, and that's her problem. She doesn't have the patience to sit down. But I sit down, I tell her, get a bigger spoon. We'll do the trick. And that's what I do, so I can model a little bit.
That's good. That's a perfect technique. For a kid that they'll think, oh, you're right, it is faster, so they'll use a bigger spoon. So then, does it help though when you guys eat together?
I do, and then she will go to the kitchen and say, I already ate. And it's like, yeah.
Well, that's good. So it seems like you guys do communicate. You do get her to do it. I guess, yeah. So I guess it's just more like the I statements, the summarize, emphasizing.
I'll try that.
So you could try and get her to go in without having to go on a roundabout way.
Okay. Yeah, now that she's older, I think.
Yeah.
I think that would work.
Because when she's older, it's going to be harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want
So
the good
first start
habits to be in
now.
place right now.
So I guess try to seem, not to always seem like the parent, but also someone like you also was like her
Yeah,
once before.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have that kind of relationship.
So that's good. So I guess you should, I guess practicing with her every, I guess morning, like during the usual routines, switch it around a little bit. And then during this break, you're going to be able to spend time for a lot, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my hope to
You can
get
practice.
something.
Yeah.
Let's see. See if it
It'll
works.
work out. And then practice the techniques I showed you. I think you'll be fine.
Great, great. Yeah, let's see.
Alright, so I'll see you next week. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.